Hi everybody, and welcome to my 4th Pokemon Team Strategy Guide. In this video I'm going to be discussing the team that I used in battles 40 through 52 of my Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle series. So you guys know the drill. This is going to go down the same way as it always has. I'm going to discuss everything about the team, including natures, abilities, items, movesets, EVs and IVs, so that you can get an in-depth understanding as to the strategy behind the team. So, again, I divided the team into two halves, the physical attack and special attack halves. So I'm going to begin with the physical side of the team. So I want to begin with Arcanine, and Arcanine historically, in my opinion, has been one of the best competitive Pokemon out there. Lately it's seen a decline in usage with the new generation, of course, but still a big threat in competitive play, in my opinion. So mine is Adamant, trained for attack and speed, so it is the physical sweeper of the team. The ability is Flash Fire, which gives it an immunity to fire-type attacks, which is very useful, particularly on this team, though, because I do have a couple of key fire weaknesses that need to be compensated for. The item is the Life Orb, which gives all of his attacks a power boost in exchange for some HP, which is usually worth it because his attack stat is good but not great, so it complements him very well, I believe. The moveset from most to least important, number one I would have to say would be Flare Blitz for power coverage, accuracy, stab, and a chance to burn, which is always nice. It does cause quite a bit of recoil damage, but often more than worth it to eliminate a big threat in battle. Next, I would go with Extreme Speed for power, accuracy, and increased priority, which, for those of you who don't know, that means that Extreme Speed will actually hit before other priority moves, like Bullet Punch, for example, which is incredibly useful because there are only a handful of Pokemon who can even know this move to begin with, so having a good one on your team that can know it is very useful in battle. Next, I would have to go with Close Combat for more power coverage and accuracy. It does lower both your defense stats when used, but again, as is the same case with Flare Blitz, often more than worth it to eliminate a big threat in battle. And then finally, Wild Charge for more power coverage and accuracy. Same thing though, as with Flare Blitz, it does cause quite a bit of recoil, but again, same logic as to the use of Flare Blitz. It is often more than worth it to deal a little damage to yourself, but in exchange eliminate a big threat on the opposing team. So next up is Snorlax, and Snorlax, again, in my opinion, has been a great competitive Pokemon historically, although again it has seen a decline in usage with the new generation recently. But again, in my opinion, still a great Pokemon competitively. Mine is Adamant, trained for HP and attack, so it is the physical tank of the team. The ability is Thick Fat, which gives it a resistance to fire and ice type moves, which is very useful, but particularly on this team, more useful to compensate for a couple of key fire and ice weaknesses. The item is Leftovers, which will regain some HP at the end of every turn, which is very useful to giving him some more time out in battle, making him last a little bit longer. The moveset from most to least important, I would have to say number one is Body Slam for power, accuracy, stab, and a chance to paralyze, which is always nice. Then I would go with Earthquake for just power coverage and accuracy. Then Ice Punch for power coverage, accuracy, and a chance to freeze, which would be very nice also. And then Crunch for some more power coverage and accuracy, and also a chance to lower the defense stat too, which is nice. Main reason behind Crunch, it may seem like an odd choice, is to deal with ghost types, which with all the other moves on the set can be a problem. So it actually has come in a lot more handy than I thought it would. So you can't argue with results, I guess. So finally, for the physical side of the team, we have Scizor. And Scizor is a personal favorite of mine. Has been and always will be, in my opinion, great competitive Pokemon, one of the top of all time. But mine is Adamant, trained for attack and defense, so it is the physical wall of the team. And the ability is Technician, which gives a power boost to all of his attacks with 60 base power or less, which is very useful because there are quite a few moves on the set that can take advantage of that. The item is the Scissorite, so he is also the Mega of the team, Mega Scizor, which is very useful. He gets a pretty big attack and defense increase when he Mega evolves, which further facilitates his role as the physical wall of the team. The moveset from most to least important, hands down, number one would be Bullet Punch. It has power, coverage, accuracy, stab, and priority as well. Also a boost from Technician. So you really can't ask for any more from a move for a Pokemon than Bullet Punch on Scizor. It is the perfect move for him. Next, I would go with Superpower for power, coverage, and accuracy. It does drop your attack and defense stats when used, but it is often more than worth it to eliminate a big threat in battle. Then I would go with Roost for healing power. It will let him survive longer on the battlefield, which is very useful given that he can easily withstand multiple physical hits as long as they're not fire, because of his very high defense stat. And then finally, Bug Bite would be more power, coverage, accuracy, stab, and it will actually steal the opponent's berry if it's holding one and use it, which has never actually happened before for me in battle, but on the off chance it would happen, it would be very useful. And also it gets the boost from Technician as well. So very good move for him to have. Moving along to the special half of the team, first up is Milotic. And Milotic is Modest, trained for special attack and special defense, so it is the special wall of the team. The ability is competitive on mine for two reasons, really. One, because I wanted to punish people for trying to use either Sticky Web or Intimidate on me, because competitive, whenever one of my stats is lowered, it will sharply increase my special attack stat. So most people would expect Marvel Scale. That's the other reason why I use competitive. So they will usually try to avoid putting a status condition on Milotic just because they're expecting Marvel Scale. So you can kind of catch them off guard with competitive and get a big special attack increase and then do some big damage with him. The item is the Citrus Berry, which will regain some health in battle, which is important to give him some more lasting power on the battlefield. The moveset from most to least important, I would have to say Scald is number one for power, coverage, accuracy, stab, and a chance to burn, which is always nice. Then I would go with Ice Beam for more power, coverage, and accuracy, and a chance to freeze, which would be nice as well. Then I would go with Recover for HP recovery, which is very useful, again, to give it more lasting power in battle. And then finally Dragon Pulse for more power, coverage, and accuracy. So next up is Rotom, Lawnmower form, and this may seem like the oddball choice of the team, but this is actually a personal favorite of mine and my favorite of all the Rotom forms. It's an odd choice because most of the time when people use Rotom, they will either use Rotom Wash form or sometimes Rotom Heat form, but you really never see this guy in competitive battle, even though he is very good for several different reasons. His typing is very unique and gives him a unique set of resistances and immunities, which is very useful in battle, in my opinion. And his moveset provides unique coverage as well, which, again, I find very useful in battle. But mine is Modest, trained for HP and special attack, so it is the special tank of the team. And the ability is Levitate because it has to be, but it is also very useful, giving immunity to ground-type attacks. The item is the Leftovers, which will give him some more lasting power in battle. Very useful to help him survive longer. The moveset from most to least important, I would have to go with Thunderbolt number 1 for power coverage, accuracy, stab, and a chance to paralyze, which is nice. Next, I would go with Leaf Storm for more power coverage, accuracy, and stab. It does harshly lower your special attack when used, but often more than worth it to eliminate a big threat in battle. Then I would go with Hidden Power Ice for more decent power, I would say, coverage and accuracy. And then finally Dark Pulse for more power coverage and accuracy and a chance to flinch, which would also be nice. So then finally we have Noivern, and Noivern is Modest, trained for special attack and speed, so it is the special sweeper of the team. The ability is Infiltrator, which allows it to attack right through opponent's substitutes, which can be very useful in trying to prevent your opponent from setting up a substitute lock of some sort. The item is the Choice Specs, because his special attack stat is not that great, but with the Choice Specs, it becomes very good. It gives it a huge increase in exchange for only being able to use one move, which is very workable with this set. So the set from most to least important, I would have to go with Dragon Pulse number 1 for power coverage, accuracy, and stab. Next, I would go with Hurricane for power coverage, stab, and a chance to confuse. Accuracy is kind of shaky, but still worth using if you need to deal big damage really fast. Then I would go with Flamethrower for more power coverage, accuracy, and a chance to burn, which is always nice. And finally, Dark Pulse for more power coverage, accuracy, and a chance to flinch, which is always nice as well. So that's pretty much it for this team. I had a lot of fun using it. It was very good competitively, very successful. But as is the case with the channel, to try and keep things interesting, I'm going to be putting this team aside for now and using a new team from here on out. So thanks for watching again, everybody. As always, feel free to like and or comment on the video, as well as subscribe to my channel. And stay tuned for more new battles in the future, beginning next time with my brand new team. So that's it, and we will see you next time.